What's up, everyone? I'm MB Lee, your host today on the Beat Sessions, and happy Valentine's Day, happy Heartbreak Day, bringing you the long-awaited Pierce the Veil's new album, The Jaws of Life, released February 10th, 2023. I was going to cover it sooner, but I was sick, so I'm here now. I like the album cover because of its simplicity and the realness of not having to have the band's faces all over it, and it goes well with the title. So this album was long awaited because it's been 7 years since the last release back in 2016 with Misadventures. And I can understand why there was such a pause between the lapse in time, as there was a pandemic and also some drama between the band. And besides, they just don't like to spit all albums. So I honestly thought they were done making music, but I feel there is a resurgence in the post-hardcore emo pop rock genre, and I'm not mad about it, and probably not anyone else who was listening to this about 10 to 15 years ago during Warped Tour days. I would say this album as a whole is quite different from their previous albums. Somewhat more pop rock with some electronic elements and not the typical emo, screamo PTV usually goes for. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing though. It's actually a good thing because it seems quite refreshing as they didn't lose their characteristics as a band as a whole for this album. The production was done by Paul Meany, which helped 21 Pilots as well. And for drums, it was filled in with Brad Hargreaves from Third Eye Blind. So that can give you some hints to what is in store for this album and how it can be kind of different. The Jaws of Life is 12 tracks and is 42 minutes long. And starting off with Death of an Executioner, starts with rhythmic percussion and continues to have unique percussion in between the song. Right after, it's driving guitars in a somber tone. Synth comes in, which is cool but different. And there's even some glittery synth after a while. And Vic Fuentes comes in with his higher vocals, which some people compare to Coheed and Cambria, which I can see, but I think Vic's voice is much better than that. So I do think this was a great opener, as most people don't usually put such a great song in the beginning. Up next is Past the Nirvana, which is a very cool track. Even has a shout out to Paul Meany in the lyrics. The singing has a cadence and weight to it, which creates sort of like a tug of war feeling in it. And this track has the recognizable Vic screams in it that fans are used to. I know we've been talking about overproduction a lot in this channel, but I don't think this is an album that was overproduced. I think it was well produced. I think the acoustic fragments were the icing on the cake for this one. Next, Even When I'm Not With You has buzzy guitar and drum claps and has, it slows things down, and it's a nice ambient love song and leaves us with the stinging last lyrics of what is love besides two souls trying to heal each other. Yes, right around V-Day. Emergency Contact, I feel some grunge vibes, a 90s vibe, not too complicated. I think they're finding power in the simplicity, and Vic does sing a lot in this song, though. There really isn't any breakdowns or breaks for him. This song is just being about being happy, and that can be revenge for something that didn't work out. It goes along with the lines, there's no greater vengeance than learning to enjoy again. Up next, Flawless Execution is somber and moody, and I did feel a 90s rock vibe on this one as well. It's a song about being there for people, and that's about it, really. Up next, The Jaws of Life. It probably catches a lot of people off guard in the beginning when Vic says, maybe I should go and buy a gun, point it at the mirror, make me run. I think this is a great album title as it's stating things about depression, but there's that one chance for hope, even though it might be slim, where you kind of go over the cliff, but at the last second you grab for the edge and pull yourself back up. The bridge has a good section of lyrics that are mention worthy. I live in the vacant and the dark, spaces in between beats of your heart, hiding in the places that you thought were empty. Next, Damn the Man, Save the Empire. Runs with hard to soft vocals of Vic, and the drumming is a little more aggressive at times, but actually there really wasn't too many outstanding drums in the whole album. It was kind of just keeping the band together as a whole, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes a drum highlight can just add to a song like this one. Next is Resilience. The dialogue in the beginning is from Dazed and Confused, which leaves a sting in your mind, and I won't give away to what that suggests. This song is about beating all odds, even when you don't think anyone's on your side. And I think the song has a good melody at parts, but I could feel it could have stood out just a little bit more as it was melting again into the 90s rock grunge. I think that's what they were going for. Up next, Irrational Fears is an interlude. Kind of just made me laugh as it's like an 80s commercial making a PSA about having a relaxing flight on an airplane, but you have all this anxiety. Next, Shared Trauma is ambient and tuneful with a continuous grain sound or white noise in the background. This track is super different from the rest of the album. I would say almost somewhat electronic pop with a lot of synthesizers. It may or may not be welcomed to the PTV fan base, but we'll see. So far, so fake. The energy picks back up in this track, and it does present some elements that you could see previously from PTV. During the bridge, it was my favorite part because of the guitar details, and the lyrics as a whole on this song were really engaging, talking about just how it's hard to trust people these days, and we would rather just recede and be okay where we are than make any changes sometimes. The last song, 12 Fractures, featuring Chloe Moriondo, is an emotional and great ballad for their last song. Chloe wasn't overwhelming and actually brought with her a calmness with her vocals. It's like a sad, happy song at the same time, and I think it was well done. Like I said earlier, this album is quite different from previous PTV albums, but I don't think that it was a wrong move to do so. If they keep the same people on their projects, I think it can just keep getting better and better. And most of these tracks I don't mind replaying. I've actually put on the album just to listen to it because I liked it so much. So this concludes the review, and it's a vinyl please for me. Hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to stop and chat with us every Tuesday for our live stream at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you all, and until next time, I'll see you later.